So for the first thing I want to do is I want to tell you guys how to save your loot. I get a lot of people asking me this, and basically there is no such thing as saving your loot, but what you can do is you can make yourself a base and you can store your loot inside basically. So all you need to do is get this building plan in the crafting menu, as well as this hammer in the crafting menu, and you use it. You build a little base like this. I'm building a simple 1x2 with a door. Oops, don't want it like that. But basically, you just want to create a whole little base with this item right here, which is a base cabinet. This base will, this item will prevent other people from building near your base, as well as prevent your base from disappearing overnight. So to prevent it from disappearing overnight, you put whatever's here, wood and stone for my base. Sometimes it could be metal and sometimes it can be high quality metal, but you just put whatever it needs and then it will not decay overnight for as long as it says. For instance, right here, I have 4 days, 17 hours of upkeep. And then I just want to slap a door down with the key lock, make sure it's red for locked, and then a little roof. And to save any loot I get, all I need to do is create a box like this, a small storage box, or you can craft a large storage box which costs iron shards, or further on you can get a storage cabinet which is right here, which costs iron shards and glue but requires carpentry tier 3. And as you can see, by placing this box down, I can save my loot, my precious guns. Alright guys, so today I'm going to be explaining one thing that I actually also get a surprisingly a lot amount of comments about, is getting metal fragments from metal ore. And basically, other than recycling and finding it in boxes and stuff, what you need to do is smelt your iron ore. So what you do is you find a node that looks exactly like this one in front of me, that one right there, and then you take it to a furnace like this, which is used crafting 50 crude fuel, 100 wood logs, and 200 stone. Stone and wood are self-explanatory to find. You should be able to do that. Crude fuel is used by killing pigs and deers to get their animal fat. Combine that with cloth to craft crude fuel. Or you can hit red barrels like that one in the distance right there, or in the trash piles over there. And what you do is you put the wood in. Oh, there's already metal in this furnace. But you put the wood in, you split. How you split the metal in half is essential, because you can't just have one working just like this, because that's bad. You know, you're only using one slot. That's inefficient. So what you got to do is you take your right mouse button and you just drag it to another slot in your inventory, and boom, you have 2 slots, perfectly evened out. I keep dropping it, but you can do the same in the furnace inventory, just splitting out. You can do it with wood, you can do it with anything, and boom, now you have metal at a super fast speed. For my next tip is using the respawn mechanic in Fallen Survival. Basically, all it is a sleeping bag right here. You can choose between your skins. I got this nice shark skin, and it crafts for like about 10 seconds. I'm on a 5x server, so it crafts faster. And I just simply place it down in my base or anywhere on the map. It does not matter. But what I do is, if it's blue, then it's good to place. If it's orange, it's not good, because that means it's close to another one of your bags, which means it will reset timer. So as you can see, I place it right here. I can slash kill. Let me put my loot away. I can slash kill, and then I will have access to my bag. But since I just placed it down, it's on bag timer. And now, as you can see, the timer's up and I can spawn at my base. Oh, it's now nighttime. But yeah, there's my body. Yeah, there's all my loot. Alright guys, so I'm going to be showing you the way of the recycler and components for a beginner. So you should know every single monument has a recycler except for E for Scav Camp. So the rest should be good. But basically, for a beginner, you need to save scrap for ammo press, tarp for carpentry table, rope for anvil, wooden armor, and crossbows, and pistol receivers for early game weapons. The rest you only really need until late game. Pipes for rockets, AK body, SMG, semi receiver for their respective guns, tech trash or circuit boards for C4 and hollow sights or ACOG sights, thread for armor, metal plating for armor, glue for storage boxes, and I think armor as well, duct tape for armor and guns, springs for high tier guns. You should probably keep springs too though. So I'm going to show you what every single component recycles into, starting with tech trash. 20 scrap and steel metal. 25 scrap, 25 iron shards, and 2 steel metal. Now, glue is a bit weird. It only recycles into animal fat and cloth, I believe, when you have 2 of it. So if I were to recycle 1, I think it turns into nothing. Alright guys, so I'll be showing you how how every workbench works. So for the first thing is the anvil, in which the anvil costs metal fragments, 100 metal fragments, 1 rope, and 75 bottle caps to craft. And this anvil will allow you to craft guns and tools. So if you were to go and look at tier 1, you can see right here iron hatchet, nail gun. Tier 2 gives us iron pickaxe, crossbows, all this. And if you look for guns like the AK-47, it's used with anvil tier 9, crafted with all these, along with an AKU. Same thing, anvil tier 8. And if you want to look up pretty much anything, you can see where it is on the anvil, like the salvage break action, anvil tier 3, or the M14, anvil tier 7, etc., etc. The next one is going to be the sewing table, which is pretty self-explanatory in the fact that it is for clothing. It looks like this, and tier 1 gets you kind of low tier stuff, as well as tier 2 getting you all these stuff. Now, if I were to look up metal salvage helmet or steel helmet, then you can see that it's sewing table tier 7, sewing table tier 6, all of that. And if I go to steel chest plate, you get the idea. The next one is going to be the carpentry table, which is by far the most useful one. It needs 1 tarp, 100 bottle caps, and 400 wooden logs. And what the carpentry table does is it allows you to do building materials. So for example, Tier 1 will get you metal doors, double metal doors, and cooking pot to cook your food faster. Tier 2 gets you ladders and a chemistry lab, which we will need, which is why I researched all that. I'm getting raided. I'm actually getting raided. All right, yeah, like I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, the carpentry table is used for everything building related. So beds, whatever. Like if I were to look up garage door, for instance, it would just show up and we can see it here as tier 6. But yeah, so the next table we're gonna talk about is the ammo press, which is completely for ammo and gunpowder. So as you can see, gunpowder right there, combustive, swift, buckshots. Next one is light ammo and slugs. And then the next one would be like heavy ammo, combustive ammo, etc., etc. Combustive ammo is actually used in the chemistry lab, which is the next table we will be doing. But piercing heavy, swift heavy, heavy, swift, anything, just anything ammo related is in the ammo press. So the next table obviously is the chemistry lab, which you need to craft at a tier 2 carpentry table. As you can see, you need a tier 2 carpentry table, and yeah, it's basically used for any boom, dynamite stick, military grenade, dynamite bundle. If I were to look up rockets, swift rockets tier 3, same with combustive rockets, and then the real rockets tier 5, and then if we want C4, it's like tier 6 or 7. And for the final table is the culinary table, which is also crafted at a carpentry table tier 3, but there is only one usage for the culinary table, and that is to craft the hold on. And that is to craft the culinary table. So yeah, that's all. Now, this is an easy tip that everyone can learn instantly for all beginners. If you press the left alt on the left side of your spacebar, you can see what's to the side of you, behind you, and even above you without actually moving which way your character goes. So I'm still walking forward, but I'm looking this way. Now, if I were to stop pressing alt look, I still go the same way. But also another little tip is if you press alt look and then jump right as you let go, you propel yourself in the direction you're looking. So for example, I'm facing left and wait, let me get out of the water. And see, I do a little jump to the side. All right, for the first gun I'm going to be showing you guys is the classic AK-47. I'm really only going to be showing you guys the recoil for kind of the best normal guns. I'm not going to show you P2 recoil, but to start off, here it is. As you can see, it goes up fully to the right, and then if you want a full spray, I'll move here. That is without controlling the AK. Now, for a beginner, what you want to do is you want to get a compensator or a scope of your preference. Definitely not the salvage sight. And for a beginner, definitely not the ACOG. So you want the hollow sight as well. These lasers are good, but they're not really incredibly necessary. Like, you can have them, but don't think you can't be good without them. So already, check the difference in recoil. It doesn't go off the side of the wall. So already it's easier to manage. So what you gotta do to control is simply point your mouse left and downwards, as you can see right here. And crouching also decreases your recoil. So not the best, I kind of messed up at the end, but you get the idea. It goes from all the way up there like that to small little controlled like that. And then with the laser sight, it reduces spread, so it becomes even more concentrated. The next gun is going to be the military M4A1, which is more of an advanced gun to find as you can't craft it or anything, but I will still show you the recoil. So the pattern we see here is the first like 6 bullets, it goes straight up and then to the right. Let me show you again. Up and to the right. So the way we compensate for this is, again, obviously, compensator, laser sight of your choosing, and sight of your choosing. I'm using the hollow. Already you can see a massive improvement, but I'm going to show you how to control it. First, you just want to slide your mouse down for the first like 6 to 7 shots, and then slowly start sliding it left, okay? You start like this. Boom. As you can see, I managed to keep my first couple of bullets in this tight spot, and then this last bullet right here was when it started getting squiggly. So again, just like the Tommy, you don't want to be spraying your whole mag. You want concentrated bursts, okay? Let me show you one more time. And as you can see, all of this messiness is when I get towards the end of my mag and it starts getting more difficult. The next gun is the salvaged AK-74U. Now, this gun is similar to the AK-47, but also not at all, because this gun is much lighter and it's much faster fire rate. So let me show you the default recoil. It's a hard question mark right here. It starts where you just have to pull down, but then it hard hits a right, and then it hits a straight left, pretty much. So, again, if you're noticing the patterns, I'm putting a compensator on it, I'm putting a hollow sight on it, and I'm putting a laser on it. Now, this gun is much more useful in close range scenarios. You don't want to be beaming far away with it. Because did you see how all my bullets went out of whack? Because that gun is garbage at far range. So what you want to do, close range, crouch per usual. Whoops. You crouch per usual, and you hit a quick drag down, and then pull to the left, all right? You see, this gun is much harder to control, but it's got great damage and great fire rate, so it is worth it to use in close to medium range scenarios. Let me show you this one more time with comparison of before and after. So you can see here, it goes straight up, then to the right, and you can see the bullet spread even too. So what you got to do, pull down and go left, bottom left, pull down, left, all right? And look at that beam. So for the next gun I'll show you is the Tommy, which starting off with a really decently pretty ugly skin, but starting off, recoil is just little swirl like that. Just a little, almost an S shaped. Now, this one's a bit harder to control because this gun is easier to get and it's very good mid and start game. Also, even end game. So the attachments you want are obviously compensator and hollow sight. I'm sure you're starting to notice a pattern here. You want to crouch, and then you want to simply hold down left, okay? Because with the Tommy, what you want to do is you want to do short controlled bursts, okay? You don't want to fire your whole 20 mag at once, because then that's when it starts getting crazy and everything. You want your first couple of bullets to be short and concentrated like that, so you can fire multiple bursts at multiple targets without missing your entire mag. All right, the final gun I'm going to show you is the military PKM, which is the best gun in the game, as you can see by the base damage of 55. So it has 75 ammo, and 99% of the time, you're not shooting out all 75 of the ammo. So I'm not going to show you the full recoil pattern or anything for 75 ammo. But I will show you the starting 30 or 40, okay? So it begins like this. Yeah, it is straight up. That is 20 bullets, 22 bullets of just straight up, okay? So if you're noticing a pattern here, I'm putting on a compensator, I'm putting on a hollow sight, and I'm putting on a laser of my choosing. Choosing. Don't clip that. It's very simple, guys. There's a reason this gun is the best game. There's a reason this gun is the best in the game. Because it's so easy. So, let's already look at the difference. It's pretty good. So, let me show you with me controlling the recoil, which again, as you can see, it's literally all you gotta do is straight down. So let's go. Now, that's a pretty high concentrated burst. I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of that is bullet spread, but also a lot of it is due to the jerking of the gun. As you can see, it jerks around a bit. So you kind of just want to practice with this gun, but if you're somewhat good at PvP games, you will be fine. Let me show you one more time. That's better.